Hello and welcome. This seems quite painful, but we are not going to suffer, but instead we will learn how to achieve this in Blender using the geometry nodes. So let's get started. Come to the Blender website and click on download. Come over here, click on demo files. And then this is the one human-based meshes that you have to download and set it up for your asset libraries. Once you're done and set it up, come back to Blender and I will expand this and click on this one and I'll change this to asset browser. And then here I have all of the categories mixed. So what I will do is I will take this one, body mail realistic. So I'll just click and drag and just drop it and see. Okay, so I'll bring this down. So I will delete this default cube and I'll select this one and press N on the keyboard. And I'll just click and drag and type in 0. Okay, now this is in the correct position. Okay. Now the next thing is I will start to model the nail. So press Shift A and I will click on circle, mesh circle. Okay, I'll click to expand the settings and the radius that I want 3.3. Okay, that's fine. And I will press tab and then press F to create a face. Okay, I will go closer and press E to extrude. This much is enough. And then I will alt click anywhere. It will select all of these vertices. And then I will press I to inset. Just bring it in. And then press G and C to move it down just a little bit. And then I will press E to extrude one last time. And then just scale it in. I will alt click over here and it will select the entire ring. And then just scale it in. And I will select, I will go to the wireframe, select all of these and bring it down. Press J and Z. We have just to make it proportionate and then scale it in. I will select all of these in the wireframe and then scale it in. Okay, so make it a little bit pointy. And one last thing, I will alt click and then press I to inset one more time and then press G and C just to bring it up a little bit. That's it. So this is done. I can rename this and I'll call this nail. Okay, and I'll just move it out and bring it up just a little bit somewhere here. Okay, so this is good. And now I will apply the material for the nail. So I'll come over here and then click to create a new material. And I'll call this nail. And for the base color, I'll keep it simple. I'll just change the base color. I will click and then bring it somewhere here and make it darker. Okay. Okay, I will adjust the value 0.036 and for the green 0.016 and blue is 0.008. Okay. And if you want the exact value, you can copy this. Okay. All right. So now if I check the material preview, it's already applied. I'll go back to the solid view. So the nail part is done. It is ready. All right. So now let's go to the Geometry Nodes tab and let me create a default cube. Shift A, Mesh, and I will click on Cube. So now I have the option to create a new geometry node. So I'll click to create a new geometry node. And then this one, what I can do is I can delete. Okay, that's very good. So over here, I'll just type Geo, G-E-O, so that I know this is the one that is having, that will display my geometry nodes. If I select anything else in the scene, so it's easy to find, I can just click and I will be back in this geometry nodes window. All right, so now what I would like to do is, first thing is so this is the male body realistic. So I'll click and drag and just drop it in the geometry nodes window. Okay. And this, if I connect to the geometry, it will appear here. So first, let me undo this and remove it. So this is the main body male realistic. I will hide it. Okay. I'll click on this one. So there's nothing here. So this is the node that has the information about that base mesh. So I'll just click this and connect it. So now this is part of the geometry node. Okay, this guy over here. So now I will do the same thing with the nail. I'll click and drag and just drop it in here. Okay, so the aim is to give painful punishment to this base mesh. All right. Okay, let's begin. I have the nail reference in the geometry node window. I will add a node. Shift A. Type in distribute points on faces. Okay. So this one I will connect to, from geometry, I'll connect to the mesh. Okay. And bring this down over here. I will add another node, instances on points. Okay. So the points will connect to points. Okay. And then these points, I will be replacing it with my own geometry, which is going to be this one, nails. So this geometry, I will connect to instances. Okay. And then I will click this check mark. So it is as an instance. Okay. And then I will check this as well, pick instance. And this is it. So I need to add one more node that's going to be the joining. So join the geometry. So when it turns white, just click. So it will make the connection automatic. And then I'll just connect the instances to the geometry. Okay, so zoom in and you can start to see the effect. Okay, so this is good. So this is the start. Fine. Okay, so the size is quite big, but not a problem. Okay, so let's add a node that is going to adjust the scale of the nails. So I will add a node, a random value. Okay, and then this one, I will connect to the scale. And I am going to give a range. So let me make some better room over here. So we understand. So the range is going to be, so the minimum is 0. So I want to change this to 0.9, slightly smaller than the original value. And the max, maybe we can have a randomized value 0.6. So it goes from 0.9 to 0.6. It will remain in this range. Okay, so this is good so far. All right, now let's increase the density. So let's try 100. And now let's adjust the rotation of these so it looks more interesting. So I will add another node, Shift A, and I'll type in rotate. Select the first one, and then just click over here. So the rotation goes to rotation, and then this rotation connects to the rotation over here. Okay. Now you can see that something is happening over here. And let's increase the density to 300. And let's increase the seed to 2. And the scale is way too big. So let's reduce the scale. Minimum will be 0.6 and the max can be 0.4. Now the part is I need to bring the nails out. As we saw earlier, the nails should be out. Okay, so the easy way to do it is we can play with the original mesh over here. Okay, since we are using all of these as instances, so I will click on this one, press tab so I can edit. As you can see, whatever is selected over here is appearing to be selected over here. So what I can do is press A to select the entire mesh, and I can press G and then press Z and move it out. So that way the nail is coming out of the body, and I think this much is enough. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, this is fine. So press tab, and then now you can see the effect is coming. So let's click on the geo here in the collection, and now we can have a better look. So we can give a seed value to this, and you can play with this whatever you like. Okay, so let's say 30. Of course, you can come and you can play with the seed. You can play with the seed value. So whatever is suitable for you. Okay, so now I think I can bring it down so that it can go in just a little bit. Okay, so yeah, now you can see the effect. Okay, let's click on this geo, and you can come over here. You can play with the seed value. You can adjust it to your liking. Okay, and now go to the material preview, and we need to add the material for the body mesh. Okay, so the way I will be doing it is I will create a cube, just any cube. Okay, just move it on the side, and then I will create a new material, and I'll call this skin, and I'll change the color to bring it over here somewhere, and the RGB value that I will add, let's make it 0.774, and this green will be 0.246. The blue will be 0.107. Okay, and this is the X value. Fine. So we have the skin material. So I'll go back to the Geo Node setup. Let's zoom in. So the nail is having the material visible, but for this base mesh, what I will do is add a node called search, and I'll type in set material. So this is the one, and then just click over here. So this is the base mesh, male mesh. So I'll just click here, and from the material drop down, I will click and select skin. Okay, so the skin material is appearing over here. So this is about it, and then you can play around with it. So just to finish the scene, what I can do is I'll just delete this one, and I'll add plane and scale it out. I'll go back. I'll go to the layout over here so I can work nicer, and then press tab. go to the edge selection, click on the edge, E to extrude, press Z so it goes straight up. And then this one, I can bevel it just to make it smoother. Okay, and use the mouse wheel to add multiple loop cuts and click to accept it. Alright, so now I will add a material to this as well. So click new, and the color will be somewhere here. Let me modify the RGB to be 0.221, and the green will be 0.214, and the blue will be 0.4. Okay, so this is the material for this one. So let's come back over here. Material preview. Alright, so now I will add light, shift A, and then click on area light, and I'll just press G and Z to move it up somewhere here, and press Z and then click on render. So you can see the preview, and so this is it. Okay, so I think the nail is looking way bigger. So what we can do is come back to geometry nodes, and then just quickly reduce the size of it. So the minimum will start with 0.5. Okay, maybe 0.45, and this one you can enter 0.3. All right, back to the layout. So this is it. You can play with the seed value and adjust it to your liking. All right, so this is it. You can even switch to the cycles for better lighting and shadows. All right, so this is it. Thank you very much for watching. Give thumbs up, give me your feedback, and don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time. Take care and bye bye.